All right, let's get into the weekly watch report where we talk about the things we watched this week. Woohoo! Woohoo! So I watched Sex and the City movie 1 and 2.
Oh, so you saw Miley's cameo?
Yes.
In the second movie.
The first one is just so much better than the second.
Yeah, the first one's way better.
I will rate the first.
They made a third one, didn't they?
Did they? I only know of the first and second.
Did they make a third Sex and the City movie? Check. Fact check. I think they did. I remember seeing like a movie poster with a giant 3. Am I totally making that up?
I'm not seeing it.
Oh, then I'm making it up. I'm just picturing the movie poster with the giant 2.
Probably.
Because that's the Sex and the City 2 had the giant 2.
I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
I see it in my brain. So the first...
Sex and the City 2.
Yeah, the first one is just classic for me.
Yeah.
But like, it's still like, Carrie, how do you end up with Big? Like, he left you.
Right.
But whatever.
Well, I mean, that's why people have been tuning into And Just Like That.
Right. It's like, it's so bad, but you can't look away.
It's so bad, but people are so locked into these people's storylines that they need to know what happens to them.
I'm going to give Sex and the City first movie a B+.
Okay.
I'm going to give the second one, just to be nice to my gals, a C-.
Yeah.
But I don't.
The first movie is that famous scene where she's like yelling at him in the street.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Throws the whole thing.
Like,
Yep.
And then I watched The Ultimatum. 4 episodes.
We both did. We both watched the same amount of episodes
Yes,
as well.
we did. And we didn't plan on that.
No, we
Just
didn't.
Happened.
Just happened.
This season is really good.
Bonkers.
It's really good.
These people are nuts.
Nuts. It's better than the first one.
Yeah. I'm more locked in than the first one.
I'm giving this a B+.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to begin because I also don't want to spoil it for people because it just came out. But I am stunned.
But the whole season's already out. Like, I think we're actually a little late to the game.
I'm actually excited to get home and watch the rest of it.
Like, I think people might be mad at us that we haven't finished the whole show yet, you know, because you know you're in for something good when you post on your story. Like, I post on my story about Lisa, like, in the second episode. And when I looked into my DMs, the amount of people that I could see just wrote, just wait, or like, oh my God, just wait. Like, so many messages. I was like, ooh, this is when I know I'm in for something crazy and that everybody else has already watched.
I can't get enough of it. I can't believe, like, I didn't want to go to sleep last night, but I fell asleep watching it. There is just too much to unpack here. None of the people picked their original people from what I've seen so far, like to live with and do a trial marriage. I'm just I'm like really just blown away by all of this. I'm not because I put it on, and at first when I put it on, I was like, how can you recreate magic? You know, the first season was good. How can you recreate this kind of magic?
Yeah.
And sure enough, I mean, the bomb that was dropped, that she was pregnant.
Know what? Yeah. I was gonna throw a spoiler.
Sorry.
Totally fine. I think at this point, like I said though, like, we're gonna talk about it, so it's totally fine. Now we can talk about it.
Yeah.
And honestly, it happens in like the second episode.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning turn of events. You go on a show.
I know.
You go on a show where your partner, you're not sure they want to marry you. Which, by the way, the premise for the show is so fucked up in general.
Yeah.
The fact that anybody signs up for this, you probably shouldn't be together anyway. Yeah. But, you know, this is life and it's reality TV.
Yep.
To then go on the show and say you're pregnant.
Also, and to have the absolute hissy fit that she had in that parking lot about Brian talking to Raya, is her name?
Raya.
Was so hurtful. Like, Lisa does not know this woman and just fully judged her because she's like a very pretty young girl and just ripped her apart. Like, making fun of her job, making fun of her, basically saying she's an idiot. Like, oh, like, you're not challenging yourself talking to her. Like, she's fucking tits and ass. Like just vile, like vile behavior where she just makes herself look so bad.
Yeah. And then the next episode,
My antenna is up big time on this one. And I don't know. We don't know what happens because we've only watched 4 episodes. So we'll see. But like, convenient timing to go on a show where you want to pressure somebody to marry you and now all of a sudden you're pregnant.
I didn't want to be the one to say it, but part of me was like, is she pregnant?
Now, hand up. If she really is pregnant,
we apologize.
I apologize. I wish her happiness and healthiness, especially bringing a baby is a very serious thing.
Absolutely.
But it would not be the first time that somebody has used pregnancy to trap somebody.
Absolutely.
And the way she was behaving made me think that was a move she would pull.
Right.
Especially because
too fast of like
100%
freak out, and then the next episode it was like, and it was I'm pregnant, and it
was a very suspect thing that she said too in her interview afterwards. Like she was like, "Ooh, I kind of thought like this would
get him to
change his mind." Like the way she said it just made me think, I don't know about this one.
You should have seen my face. Because I was like, when you watch a show and you're like on your phone a little bit. Yeah. Like there's some shows that you do both at once.
Nick Lachey dropped that bombshell.
I dropped my phone and was like, what? Are you serious?
And I also feel like it really did send a shock through the rest of them because it totally fucked up who the other people were going to pick. Mm-hmm. That just completely eliminated 2 people where I felt like Brian and Raya may have been leaning towards each other, and Lisa and Trey may have been leaning. Like I just felt like that totally spun it around where now you really only have one choice because I felt like the other 2, Roxanne and I'm spacing on all their names, like they swapped also, where it was like that. Like I didn't think anybody was gonna jump into that one, but the other 2 could have been mixed more.
Thoughts on the Roxanne swapping situation?
I'm a little confused by Roxanne. Like, I get it. You're a career woman. Like, I totally respect that. But it's the only thing she's talked about.
And she said she could talk about business all day. And then I'm blanking on his name because I watched all the episodes so fast that I'm like blanking on the names.
Richard,
the guy she's now with.
Oh, his name is Alex.
Okay, Alex.
But her original boyfriend is... No, I feel like it was an R name also.
Well, Roxanne and Alex, they go to Alex's parents. And Roxanne was like, yeah, I could just talk about business all day. And the parents are like, all right, well, you can't... That's not a relationship. You can't talk about business all day long. And then the parents were like, kind of like, all right, maybe you too. I was stunned because they don't know this person at all.
Yeah.
And for Alex, it seemed like he's in on marriage. He wants to get married. Yeah. He sees himself as the partner, but
her reaction to that was like weird to me too. She's like, you're just showing me so much that you can be career driven and also want marriage. Like, it's like, wait, what? Like,
yeah, I think she's confused about what she wants, but
yeah. At the end of the day, doesn't it just always seem like they just don't like their partner that much?
That is what it is. Like, I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you.
And sometimes it has happened. Like after the first season, remember the couple that they did like the dating, and then they were like, "Oh, this is so not for us." Like, and he like proposed at the choice.
Yeah,
it's like that's I think when you realize like, oh wait, you actually are the one I want to be with. Like sometimes. It just feels like they don't like each other.
Yeah, it just feels like it shouldn't take this to make you open your eyes.
Yeah,
but so be it for these people. But with
which
Alex,
is why Lisa,
he's like, oh my God, the way that his ears perk up when she compliments him in his business.
I know.
Like she was like, "You're a businessman." He was like, "Yep." I'm like, all right. Like guys who just need their ego fed. Yes, I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. Yeah. Like we get it, Alex. Yeah. Okay. And like you're so much better than her other guy who actually seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, he does.
And like when he was explaining that, he was stuck in a rut and he like,
I just think it's so unfair too to like, I don't know.
Sometimes you're just not compatible.
Yeah, exactly. And if that like business ambition is the word she kept using. Ambition. If that ambition is such a deal breaker for you, then he's just not the right match for you. Like, I just think it's very unfair to continue to critique him. And I still am spacing on his name, and I don't want to Google it because I don't want to see spoilers. When, you know, he was saying when they met, like, he was working at McDonald's, but like he's transitioned into other jobs and doing other things. Like, if you're going to judge him on that for like forever, what are you doing? You know? If that's like such a big deal to you.
Like, at the end of the day, some of these people, and listen, we're getting a great show out of it.
Yeah.
But some of these people just need to realize, just because you're comfortable does not mean you need to be with this person. Like, you're just settling at this point. You clearly are not in love with them. There's so many things you're not compatible on different levels.
Raya, I feel bad for because I do think she has a lot of, like, I don't think necessarily it's that she doesn't love Trey and why she's afraid to get married. I think she has more trauma and like more inner fear and insecurity about herself, like talking about her childhood. She opened up about getting pregnant. Like, I think like that's where like that conversation like made me so sad, where she was like, well, what if I don't want kids? And it kind of seemed like maybe that stemmed from the experience that she had. Like, does she want to put herself through that again? It felt like there was a lot of more inner issues of why marriage is so scary to her, and less like,
right,
it's because of him.
Yes.
You know?
Which is a totally different story.
Totally different story. Because sometimes it seems very clear that it's just like not the right person. Yeah. And sometimes it's like, okay, you have more of a inner issue with the idea of marriage and that kind of commitment, which is where I feel like maybe she was at. But they got us locked in.
I'm definitely locked in. I'm giving that a B+. And that's what I watched.
I'll jump in for my grade on the Ultimatum then. I'll give that a B+ as well, episodes 1 through 4 for both of us. I finished Love Island USA. Obviously, we got Hannah and Marco on the episode, so I felt like that ended totally the way it was supposed to as well.
So I started watching it, and then we found out who won, and we were going to be interviewing, and so I never got to fully finish it. But I was like, I got past Casa Amor, and
I hope it works for a lot of these couples. You know, there's been I don't know. We asked Hannah and Marco about it, but there's been rumors too about like people have been on Carmen and Kenzo because they're actually both they actually both live in Scottsdale. And they're like, oh, you know, they do like, oh my God, like we live like 10 minutes from each other. Like, how have we never met? And then people were like, ooh, like we think you actually may have
known each
other, like whatever. And if that's the case, you know, America felt that way clearly because they finished it out fourth. So, but I hope that these couples make it work. They all left boyfriend, girlfriend. Like it's kind of like a legit thing where, you know, I hope that they actually really try and make it work. So I thought the whole season was a good season. I will give the Love Island USA season a B as a whole, or just as my finishing grade. What did I watch? Oh, I watched the last 2 episodes I was catching up, the last 2 episodes of Hard Knocks, which I love, enjoy. It's been great. People are really invested in the Jets, obviously, so it's just been an interesting insight into what's been going on there. We're getting to that part of the season where like the people get cut, and like that always makes me sad because it's just like, God, these guys work so hard, and it's just like it's sad. But I've very much been enjoying it. I'll give that a B as well. Good stuff. And I kind of think that's it. You know what's really on my watch list that I have not watched is the Adam Sandler movie with his daughter.
I
saw that.
It got really good reviews.
It got really good reviews.
I was shocked. I'm like, this can't be real.
I've seen everybody talking about it. I really want to watch it. I haven't had the time to watch it yet, but I'm putting that on my watch.
You're not invited
list.
to my bat mitzvah.
You're not invited to my bat mitzvah.
On Netflix. Yep.
I really want to watch it. I just like haven't had was not having the time to watch it yet. But that's all I watched this week.
I I pretty much only watched Suits this week. Are you done, by the way? Are you?
I watched Suits also.
I haven't had the time to like really dive into Suits.
I mean,
more like I'm
into it.
obviously watching it, but
I'm more into it. I forgot because we didn't do this last week. I think I've watched 10 episodes now.
Who's your fave?
I'm liking it for sure. Probably Harvey.
I'm a Harvey gal.
Yeah, I think Harvey's
I'm a Mike guy.
Yeah, I like.
I'm such a Harvey gal.
Yeah, me too.
Like, look at me, I'm smiling.
Yeah.
Really? He kind of sometimes is like, fuck this guy.
No, I just kind of like that. I don't know. I like that.
Yeah,
I like his ego.
There's
same.
There's nothing about me that says like fuck Harvey.
Yeah, no.
Well, what season are you? Where did you leave
I'm
off?
still on 3.
Yeah, because now I'm in 4. A lot's happened. Okay, you're not fully caught up.
I've only watched up to 10 episodes, so that's where I'm at. But I will say I've definitely jumped more into it than I like initial jump. But I have liked it. It is really like a good show to put on just to like chill and watch and like you're invested, but you're not like
it's nothing groundbreaking.
Yeah, exactly.
But
it's not you don't need to like fully be paying attention, kind of thing too. So
yeah, so I'm on season 4. I'll give it a B plus. Like it's very entertaining. Like
solid.
I'm the fact that I've gone to season 4, like it's like I like it enough to keep watching it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of seasons.
Yeah, and it is like I don't feel like I have to be like watching every second of it. I rewatched Oppenheimer. I went to the movie theaters with my family when I was on the Cape and rewatched it.
You wasted your time like that?
I mean, it is just like a great
No, I'm kidding.
movie.
I'm kidding. I haven't even seen it.
This time around, I was kind of like, I caught myself being bored because I'm like, I've already seen this. Like,
it's hard.
and it's long.
Yeah,
it's long.
It's a hard repeater.
So, that's tough.
Oh, you know what I did in the theater?
It's tough, like also to go see it again in the theater. It's another thing to watch it again, like at home when you can like get up and walk around or pause it or like it's like when you actually go sit in the theater and like fully have to watch and like can't be sitting on your phone in the movie theater.
3 hours,
like that's harder.
In the movie theater on the Cape that we go to, they like serve alcohol there, and so I was like, I'm bored. Like I'm gonna go get a beer, like in the middle of the movie.
Oh, you were bored in the middle of the movie?
Just I've already seen it, so I went, got a beer, and then I'm coming back, and it's like dark. We were in the back row. It was like dark, and I forgot that there was like a little ledge like thing, like to step up, and
did you fall?
I walked like right into it and poured beer all over this person's legs.
No. I feel like you're always dropping everything at the movie theater.
And I just was like, sorry.
You have some bad movie theater etiquette.
Also, I was sitting right next to him. It was just like,
awkward.
Oh, and beer is tough too.
Did you run and get him some napkins?
No.
Oh,
I don't know
my
if,
God.
I don't know if he acted like he didn't like start like cleaning his legs. I don't know if he wanted to make it seem like he just didn't know or like, but I saw it go all over his legs. But yeah, I'll give A- still to Oppenheimer. Like, just a great movie. And then we watched the documentary on HBO called After the Bite, which is about sharks on Cape Cod, which we just thought was fitting.
Timely.
And from the title and the trailer, you would think sharks are killing everyone on the Cape. And I didn't and you do kind of feel that way. There's signs every beach. But apparently there's only been one death from a shark in the last like 80 years on the Cape. So I'm like, what? Like, what's the big deal everyone's making about? Like, sharks are around.
You have to be. I think it's just an abundance of caution. You got to have the signs up because there are a lot of fucking sharks at the Cape.
But like,
they'll sneak up on you.
It happened to like one kid like a couple years ago. He died, but it's like 1 out of 80 years. That's pretty good. Like.
Yeah, no, it's
when you put it like that, I'm not as scared. But there are a lot of sharks, like But that's it. That's all I got.
All right, that's the PSA about the sharks. Kate,
do you have a grade for the documentary or?
I'll give it a C because it was like nice to see parts of the Cape that we were familiar with, and it's like they're here, or whatever, like. But it is like, what's the point of all this? Like it turned into like more about the seals than the sharks, and like there's too many seals or like all this stuff. Like people were hunting seals.
That's what you have to look out for.
Do you know
like
that?
if you're in the water and you see a ton of seals hanging out,
well, that's
get out of the water.
That's why people were saying
bad news.
A while ago, you'd see like maybe a couple seals a summer. Now like
no, there's
every
so many
single
seals.
time you go there's a seal. Like
yeah,
you're
and
swimming
that's
like
that's what the sharks are. Those are.
But I didn't
shark
realize
bait.
they said in the documentary
Ooh-ha.
that for a while fishermen were like hunting seals, like killing seals because the seals were eating all the fish that they were trying to get.
Oh,
so they were like killing the seals. So it's a whole
really
thing. But I was like,
I don't really like the sound of that.
No.
yeah. But I was like, what is like? I thought I was gonna be watching shark attacks, and it was just like, oh, yeah, there's some sharks out there, like, but.
Oh, Noah.
This wasn't the documentary you wanted.
He's like, damn, I really wish more people were getting bitten by sharks, huh?
There's probably more shark things that you could look into that will fulfill that.
Yeah, I think
there's a whole week dedicated
to
sharks.
My standards are high after Chimp Empire.
It's probably it.
Fair.
Yeah. You need a reality show about the sharks.
Yeah.
All right, that's everything we watched this week.